Good afternoon. Mr. Charles Pashley, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, members of the Board of Directors of the TNT Chamber, distinguished representatives of our corporate sponsors, the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, Exim Bank Trinidad and Tobago Limited, the Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation, B-Mobile Business, Unicoma Trinidad Limited, and media partners Guardian Media Limited and Music Radio 97.1. Other distinguished guests, members, and colleagues of the media. I think most of you know me, Kiran Maharaj. I'm Senior Vice President of the TNT Chamber, but I'm also Chair of the Awards Committee. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce's official launch of the 2022 Champions of Business Awards. Champions of Business is the final signature event for the Chamber each year. But where did it all start? I am pleased to share with you a quick look at some of the highlights of the evolution of the Champions of Business Awards.
Champions of Business is the finale of the 3 signature annual events hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the Voice of Business. It is the most anticipated business awards and is considered to be a must-attend event each year. Champions of Business was created primarily to celebrate the outstanding and exemplary contributions of Trinidad and Tobago's business leaders. It is also intended to inspire emerging entrepreneurs to strive for excellence and quality standards in business. The story started in 2005 with the induction of founding member Joseph Leon Agostini posthumously into the very first Business Hall of Fame. This was a simple ceremony that took place in the company's boardroom, but soon outgrew its modest beginnings. By 2014, a strategic decision was made to expand the categories to also capture SMEs and export-oriented companies. And so, Champions of Business was born.
Our theme for 2022 is Legacy and Leadership. This theme embodies enduring characteristics of visionaries and pioneers, encompassing values of strength, sustainability, determination, and commitment. John Quincy Adams said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." I assure you that our nominees reflect this. Since the Business Awards was introduced in 2005, the program itself has evolved. Now, in its 17th year, we have grown from the original Business Hall of Fame to encompass 6 categories which represent the business spectrum from entrepreneurship through lifetime achievement. The goals of the program are to recognize the role and contributions of outstanding businesses towards the nation and the economy, to encourage local enterprises to continue developing and elevating their businesses, to motivate and inspire homegrown businesses to aim for excellence in their products and services, to encourage local businesses to promote and showcase their products and services to the world, and to celebrate and highlight the achievements of local enterprises that have contributed to the environment and growth of the community. In collaboration with sponsors, we will present awards in the following 6 categories. Business Hall of Fame, sponsored by the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, who are also sponsoring the Green Agenda Award. Internationally known TNT-owned Company of the Year, supported by Exim Bank of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Breakthrough Entrepreneur of the Year, also supported by Exim Bank of Trinidad and Tobago Limited. Entrepreneurship, supported by the Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation, and Business Technology, supported by B-Mobile Business. After the tumultuous time which businesses faced over the last 2 years, it is only right that we proclaim the success, recognize the resilience, celebrate the innovation and dynamism which took place and which are continuing to define our business and our country. We are privileged to have such leading organizations as our signature sponsors to support champions of business, and we thank all of them wholeheartedly for seeing value in the TNT Chamber's work of connecting businesses and people across many industries. The alignment could not be more harmonious. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago joined us to introduce the Green Agenda category last year. With the growing importance of sustainability in a world threatened by environmental challenges, this award recognizes that corporate TNT have a part to play in doing what is right for the environment, our planet, and future generations. One company will be selected and announced at the grand finale. The Business Hall of Fame is where it all began, as you would have seen a short while ago, and today remains the culmination of the Champions program. In 2005, the founder of the TNT Chamber, Leon Agostini, became the very first inductee. 16 years and over 30 inductees later, we look forward to announcing this year's outstanding inductees, whose lifetime achievements in business and public life can unquestionably raise the bar. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago has once again joined us as the sponsor of this prestigious award category. Inductees are selected from nominees and announced prior to the induction, which is presented at the grand finale. Champions of business are selected by nomination, and all of the award categories, all of them, are open to anyone, meaning that you don't have to be a chamber member to nominate someone, nor do you have to be a member to be nominated. Exim Bank joined us as a platinum sponsor for the exporter-centric, internationally known TNT-owned Company of the Year in 2020. The award itself was introduced in 2014, and iconic businesses such as SM Jaleel, Associated Brands, Bermudez, Kenson, Sasha, Label House, Ramps Logistics, and Angostura have been award recipients. Last year, Exim Bank joined us to add a new category of Breakthrough Exporter of the Year, and if I remember correctly, it was brainchild of the CEO, whose first recipient was Caribbean Flavors. The combination therefore captures both established and up-and-coming exporters, while the recipient of the internationally known TNT-owned Company of the Year is announced beforehand. The Breakthrough Exporter will be announced at the awards grand finale. B-Mobile Business has been with us since 2018, when we introduced the Business Technology Award. They immediately saw the potential of this award, which recognizes that business efficiency and innovation are often synonymous with technology. WePay was awarded the first business technology title, followed by Term Finance in 2018, Printry powered by the DocuCenter in 2020, and Medal in 2021. We will continue to observe their growth and evolution in the future. The winner of this award is selected from amongst 3 finalists and revealed at the grand finale. The Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation has been an avid supporter of entrepreneurship through their various products and programs. As we work towards bolstering the entrepreneurship movement in Trinidad and Tobago, we are pleased that they have joined us for another year to celebrate entrepreneurs who have a passion to create and innovate. This year, we will once again select 3 finalists for the entrepreneurship category, and the recipient will be announced at the grand finale of the awards. Nominations are officially open from tomorrow until midnight on August 26th. To nominate your champion of business for any of the categories, please visit our website, www.chamber.org.tt. Click Nominate a Champion on the home page, and it will take you to the criteria and the nomination forms, plus give you other information. I now invite our platinum sponsors to share a few words. The past winners of the internationally known category have demonstrated the potential of our local brands to internationalize, and our first sponsor to address you was set up to help you do just that. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Navin Dukaran, CEO of Exim Bank of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, to give some insight to this sponsor's alignment and the 2 exporter-centric categories. Mr. Dukaran.
Thank you very much, Kiran. Mr. Charles Pashley, the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Ms. Kiran Maraj, Senior Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, member of the Board of Directors of the Chamber, distinguished representatives of our corporate sponsors, B-Mobile, Business Exim Bank, National Gas Company, Trinidad Unit Trust, Unicoma, and media partners, Guardian Media Limited and Music Radio 97.1 FM, other distinguished guests, members of the media, and those of you who are watching this at home. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Exim Bank team, I am thrilled to be here once again to be a part of the launch of the Champions of Business Awards 2022. The Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce's commitment to celebrating success of export generation and exporters are evident, as the Chamber has decided to focus 2 awards on this type of activity, something I'm very happy about. The first, the internationally known TNT-owned Company of the Year Award, surveys the market to find the leading companies that are moving the needle on national exports. And then the second, the Breakthrough Exporter of the Year Award, an award to a small or medium-sized company, a growing exporter, that would show that you can do it as a small business. Exporting is possible, and you could even win an award as you grow your company through export-led growth. I believe the economic vaccine for our country is to increase exports. And to this end, a key deliverable for us at the Exim Bank is to launch a catalytic fund that was announced in the 2022 national budget. We are presently executed on this and expect to launch early 2023. Now, while I can't go into too many details as we're still developing and so on, I'm going to share a few insights into what this will entail. We are looking at strategies to increase a few different areas. One, financial literacy. Maybe starting, we have Dr. Stone there that has already dealt with secondary schools, but we're looking even at that level to look at financial literacy. Another one in terms of financial inclusion. Some of our programs in the past were held back because companies don't have financial statements. We're going to try to address that with some very targeted solutions. We're going to try to see how we can increase private sector technology deployment acceleration. Entrepreneurial development as well will be one of the focuses alongside successful initiatives at the UTC and other places. Risk-sharing strategies with commercial banks to improve access to capital for micro and small business. Green financing and catalytic financing, that is another aspect to a catalytic fund. And one very important thing as well is that catalytic fund is going to enable Exim Bank to provide increased financial support to the services sector as well. We're already pretty good with the manufacturing sector, and we're going to increase to the services sector. And I look forward, President, to the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce playing a key role in the promotion and the distribution of the offerings of that catalytic fund to your membership. I think it is a perfect synergy, and this is why we really value this relationship here with the Chamber. And just a word for, just an individual, a sole proprietor, sometimes you think, to export is something big, but in today's globally connected world, there's so many different platforms that if you can, write, if you can do graphic design, there's things like Fiverr, there's Upwork, there's freelancer.com, there's even YouTube, that you could create and do things and actually earn US dollars. Now, it is going to take a little bit of time for the banks, the technology companies, TSTT and so on, Exim Bank, credit unions, fintechs, to ensure that the next generation of export-centric service providers in Trinidad and Tobago can get those US dollars back into their bank accounts, right? That's going to be key. And, again, TSTT, I don't know, mobile wallet, I don't know, hearing something, so we'll see. But there's a huge opportunity for companies operating in the digital space to leapfrog and immediately compete and win on the global stage. there's also opportunities for importers to start earning foreign exchange income. You say, what, importers? Well, because they have solid supply chain networks and long-standing relationships that they could then start selling some of those products that they get into different markets in US dollars. Then you have already, the energy sector is already leading the way. Kudos to our sponsoring colleagues at NGC in this regard and others. For this year, right, the energy sector is picking up and taking on, and we're looking forward for the financial sector, manufacturing, technology sectors, and other service sectors to continue to ramp up global penetration activities. So as the Exim Bank executes on our mission to increase national foreign exchange earnings, we are searching and feel we can find the right partners, collaborators, talent, thought leaders, and most importantly, those who can execute here at the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce. We look forward to more collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you, Navin. He always exudes such excitement. And I could just see the headline, economic vaccine exports. Very well done. But I think that anything that, that creates those sparks of knowledge and becomes, that springboard to create opportunity to encourage and enable, especially micro and small businesses, are significant contributions. So congratulations, and we look forward to working with you. Small businesses provide a big opportunity to make a difference in the world of business and beyond. We also know that big businesses start small. Our next sponsor has demonstrated their commitment to developing the next wave of entrepreneurs and to helping them to scale their businesses. I now invite Mr. Emil Clifton, Assistant Vice President, Reputation Management at the Trinidad and Tobago Unit Trust Corporation, to say a few words via a video.
Good afternoon, fellow chamber colleagues. Unfortunately, I can't be with you in person today, but I am extending virtual greetings to all from the Unit Trust Corporation. So, can we reimagine a world where the desire for entrepreneurial success becomes as normal a conversation as there usually is as getting a job? Can we reimagine a country that has a thriving entrepreneurial sector that encapsulates a structured ecosystem, opportunities for businesses to fail and rebuild, and founders who understand the required shift in mindset from product development to organizational leadership and then legacy creation? Can we reimagine a notion of national entrepreneurship development that can solve the protracted and in some instances systemic problem of entrepreneurial failure to then create entrepreneurial success? Mr. Charles Pashley, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Ms. Kiran Maharaj, Senior Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, members of the Board of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, distinguished representatives of the corporate sponsors, other distinguished guests, members of the media, good afternoon again. Over the last several years, the Unit Trust Corporation has focused on entrepreneurship development. Unit Trust sees entrepreneurship as another wealth-building category, one that is very similar to the mutual fund category we created 40 years ago. We have pointed many times to the unmistakable correlation between the growth of the stock exchange, which started in 1981, and our first fund, the Growth and Income Fund, which began in 1982. So, we understand the growth potential now that we, Unit Trust, is looking at entrepreneurship as a sector. Akin to UTC's creation of the mutual fund industry within the financial services sector, entrepreneurship also needs to operate within a sector, an industry, a structured ecosystem, but it requires nurturing and consistent developmental activities. Therefore, for this to work, we believe the entrepreneurship ecosystem must, at its barest minimum, involve three key players: private sector, academia, and the public sector. UTC plays a pivotal role in leading the development of this entrepreneurship sector as the catalyst to successfully create or connect actually the ecosystem to businesses and then to founders. Our contributions thus far via our Scale-Up program, facilitated in partnership with Entrepreneurship Policy Advisors, it offered 11 medium to large-sized businesses the tools and know-how to scale their operations successfully. And this provided many benefits to the country, the companies, and the individuals that were involved. In November, we commenced the second cohort of Scale-Up Trinidad and Tobago through a similar partnership with Entrepreneurship Policy Advisors. But this time, we have included the Ministry of Trade and Industry, thereby strengthening and fortifying and bringing forth even further that public-private academia sector's model. Added to this, our Startup Accelerator, which is now going to be created in partnership with UE Ventures, it's called Europreneur Plus, will offer training, coaching, and mentorship to early stage startups that create innovative solutions to big problems. And my fellow colleagues, this one is huge. This is a huge factor note. We will be extending patient capital to some of these businesses. In conclusion, UniTrust sees the need to develop a pipeline of investable companies to enable our country's continuous growth. This also reinforces UTC's vision to be a catalyst in driving social change and spurring on innovation through a structured and vibrant entrepreneurial system. This is why the UniTrust Corporation is sponsoring the Champions of Business Entrepreneurship Award, because we strongly believe that through entrepreneurship, our country can create more diverse leaders, more diverse leadership, stronger communities, new markets, and a broad, deep-seated, very meaningful, and ethically rich set of values. Thank you, fellow chamber members and colleagues. Thank you.
And the TNT Chamber thanks the UniTrust Corporation of Trinidad and Tobago for their valuable partnership in Champions of Business 2022. Matt Mullenweg, a social media entrepreneur, he was the developer of WordPress. He said, "Technology is best when it brings people together. We use it every day. Phones." Our winners in this category know this, and the visionaries in their own right, and our next platinum sponsor certainly knows how to be part of their journey. We invite Mr. Daryl Duke, Assistant General Manager, Business Sales of the Telecommunications Services of Trinidad and Tobago Limited, who will now talk a little bit about the Business Technology Award.
Good afternoon. How do I start? Well, let me start with proper salutations. Good afternoon all. Mr. President, Charles Pashley, Karen Marad, Senior Vice President, other distinguished guests, my fellow sponsors, nice to see Navin in person. I remember the last presentation we had, that was last year, it seems so long ago. I think I had a long speech, and preparing for this, I said, guys, how are we going? It had to be like, and the JPs, there are other board of directors from the chamber, nice to see you all. That I have to have like 3-minute speech, and like I was a little bit, so I'll keep it short. It's going to be 30 minutes, but I'll keep it 3 minutes. You'll be very happy to hear that. But certainly it's a pleasure. And Navin, let me also note that I have something outstanding for you, but I also realize I have an opportunity that I also noted here too. So thank you for that opportunity and for this interaction. I'm very excited to be here. We're in person. I get to leave the mask in the car, although my good friend Emil got to do a video, so would quote me this time, I'll always be here in person, and Be Mobile will always be here in person to support this initiative. It's certainly a pleasure to partner with the Chamber of Industry and Commerce for the 2022 Champions of Business Award to recognize and honor the sterling contributions of some of Trinidad and Tobago's finest business minds. Be Mobile is committed to fostering technological innovation and digital transformation within the business community. The Be Mobile Business Technology Award is part of our ongoing drive to support business and ICT innovation, especially by those who wish to become globally competitive. Be Mobile's sponsorship of this award is also seamlessly aligned with our vision of enabling Trinidad and Tobago to become an incubator for new and innovative products and services. We're very proud of this, and as the only local full-service communications service provider, B-Mobile is always exploring avenues to support and propel the next generation of business and tech entrepreneurs. It's public knowledge, and I know my good friend was talking to me about it before, of the changes made at B-Mobile. This was necessary to revolutionize the way we do business, putting customers at the core of everything we do. Being synonymous with excellent customer service is not enough for us. Our aim is to be customer obsessed. B-Mobile continues to provide affordable, scalable, wired and wireless connectivity solutions, as well as voice and data cloud solutions that have supported both small and large businesses out of these turbulent times. With the country finally opening back up for business after 2 years of restrictions, I have 5 words to leave with you. For you, business and business Trinidad and Tobago, 5 words. We are here for you. I thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. You shortchanged us. It was supposed to be 30 minutes. But thank you, and thank you for your support. The legacy of heroes is the memory of a great name and the inheritance of a great example. Our Business Hall of Fame inductees exemplify this quote. Their legacies have added to the landscape of our business community and our nation. We will now have a few words from Mr. Mario Singh, Assistant Manager, Corporate Sustainability at the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, to share why they thought it was important to sponsor the Business Hall of Fame and to tell you a little bit more about the Green Agenda Award.
Good afternoon, all. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope to be a bit as passionate as Navin, but probably not as short as Daryl. So Mr. Charles Pashley, President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Ms. Kiran Marad, Senior Vice President of the Chamber, members of the Board of the Chamber, distinguished representatives, corporate sponsors, fellow corporate sponsors, our media partners, distinguished members of the media, colleagues at NGC, thank you, good afternoon. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago is pleased to join the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce once more in recognizing and honoring champions of our local business community. All businesses operating in Trinidad and Tobago are corporate citizens, and like citizens, they have the same civic duty as any individual to act responsibly to their employees, to act responsibly to society, and critically important in the age of climate change, to act responsibly to the environment. Sadly, not all businesses operate by these principles, and they do not all accept the challenge to balance people, profits, and the planet, or the triple bottom line. For us at NGC, our measure of success is not only the creation of economic value for the country, but enhancement of our environment and the well-being of our stakeholders. Even in the midst of the turbulence we've experienced over the last 2 years with the pandemic, we still hold ourselves accountable to these goals and can appreciate the challenges confronting others who are working towards the same. We therefore applaud those businesses that remain committed to doing good while doing well. Excuse me. The Chamber aligns with in this regard, and through the Champions of Business Award, is celebrating individuals and corporations who are working to create profitable enterprises, while improving communities, empowering people, and doing well while doing good. We at NGC therefore see these awards as a good fit, and we full-heartedly support them. Based on our core values and our business ethics, we saw perfect alignment with the 2 awards in particular. We have chosen to sponsor the Green Agenda Awards for a 2nd year, and the Business Hall of Fame, which gives us a chance to celebrate a business leader whose achievements and service to country deserve to be immortalized. Through a combination of vision, passion, and hard work, these individuals would have transformed the company into a business model that can be something we could look up to. The 2nd award represents a cause we are passionate about at NGC, we advocated for the introduction of a Green Agenda Award, and we see corporate Trinidad and Tobago as playing a major role in our country's future by facilitating sustainable, environmentally conscious growth and supporting achievement of our national climate change targets. We at NGC have been working to implement a Green Agenda strategy to address our own carbon footprint as a business, but we cannot do it alone. We need the support of our colleagues in the business community to take on the challenge of reducing our carbon footprint. The Green Agenda gives us a chance to highlight another business with similar determination that is making a difference in the climate change fight through innovation, efficiency, green technologies, and environmental perseverance. Today, we congratulate businesses who will be up for these awards, and we look forward to celebrating their achievements and highlighting the examples they set for others in the business community to follow. We commend the Chamber for taking the step to honor our local pioneers, wave makers, and corporate entities who operate with a conscience. NGC is truly happy to join you in recognizing these champions of business, and we want to work together as partners in sustainable development for better Trinidad and Tobago, not just for today, but for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario, and thank you again to the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago for their support. Ladies and gentlemen, during the pandemic, the Chamber, like many other organizations, had to pivot. Champions of Business was redesigned to include a 4-part televised series highlighting each award category and culminating into a televised finale. This year, we are retaining the True Stories, a series of 4 television episodes highlighting the categories and the stories behind them. This series will air on CNC3. With the lifting of restrictions, we are pleased to announce a return to our in-person gala celebrations. The 2022 Grand Awards Finale will be held at the National Academy for the Performing Arts, NAPA, on Thursday, November 24th. And we really look forward to welcoming back a live audience. We've been cooped up for way too long. I ask you to direct your attention to the screen for the formal unveiling of our 2022 Champions of Business theme. Our 2022 theme. So this is the time when we take any questions that there are from members of the media. My colleagues, are there any questions? No? That's good. That means we were thorough. And that means everybody wants to get out of here without swimming home in the dark. So thank you all again to our members of the media. I now hand over to the President of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Mr. Charles Pashley, to give closing remarks.
I have some bad news here. I'm taking the other 27 minutes that Daryl left out. there's lots to be thankful for. I mean, these awards really are the underpinning of business in Trinidad and Tobago. The champions of business really represent entrepreneurs who started off, a lot of them in the SME stage, many, many years ago. And they toiled and they worked not to be recognized by the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, but because they had a passion for the country, a passion to do better, a passion to make something of themselves. We at the Chamber are really enthused in what we've been able to achieve in recognizing these champions of business. They really have left a great legacy and really do represent very strong leadership, which we so need in Trinidad and Tobago and the world over in coming out of the challenges over the last 2 years. It's really a pleasure to thank our sponsors, Exim Bank, National Gas Company, B-Mobile, the Unit Trust, Unicoma, as our corporate sponsors, to take this journey with us. It shows the foresight that they have in terms of recognizing the significance that these awards represent to our society, because it is by celebrating successes that our smaller SMEs that operate now would hear the stories of our successful entrepreneurs that receive the awards and motivate them to keep on going and succeeding. And if they succeed, we all succeed as a nation. So as Navin said, exports are our vaccine, very critical. SMEs are also our vaccine. Together, we will create huge opportunities in the future. And of course, I'd also like to thank our media sponsors, Guardian Media Limited and Radio Music 97. They've been our sponsors through the pandemic, and it's been really rewarding. And most of all, I'd like to thank our media that's present today. It's through how you communicate this program to the wider community is whether we'll have the benefits that we expect to get from it. It is how you celebrate with us in your communication of the event, how the community will take this event. And we are very excited. We think it's exceptional to recognize our awardees, and you can tell by each one of the presenters today in terms of our sponsors how intricately woven we all are together to achieve the success of Trinidad and Tobago, together as a business community and together as a society. I'd also like to thank everyone who made this event possible, all our chamber staff that prepared everything today. I'd also like to thank our Mistress of Ceremonies, Kiran, and thank everyone for coming out, and look forward to strong sponsorship in terms of visiting in live, in person, our first Champions of Business in person for 2+ years. We look forward to seeing you in person and being able to give awards in person instead of virtually. It's a very exciting time for us, and we look forward to a bright future. And thank you all very much for all coming out and all supporting us. Thank you. Bye-bye.